Hi friends, hello everyone, welcome back to Thanmaya tutorials. So in this today's video, I have brought you some very important concept in mathematics which is used in physics also, that is the trigonometric formulas. Very important. So in this today's video, I'm gonna discuss the trigonometric formulas from a very basic formulas to the higher level standard formulas. Every formulas I'm gonna discuss in this today's video. So without any wasting the time, so let's get started. See, before saying that standard formulas, I'm introducing your very basic formulas. This is because whenever you are solving the trigonometric formulas, so you need the basic formulas, because whenever you will derive the standard formulas, no, at that time you will use this particular very basic formulas. So knowing very basic formula becomes very important, and this trigonometric formulas are very important for your differentiation as well as integrations. So let us move towards the formulas. So first, very basic formulas, the first segment which I have taken is the sine square plus cos square is equal to 1. Everybody knows this, very important. Next, 1 plus tan square x is equal to secant square x. Next, 1 plus cot square x is equal to cosecant square x. Okay, so you remember that sine and cos has been pair, and okay, your cot plus here also cosecant, cot cosecant. Okay, and remaining is tan and secant. You just make it as a pair. Okay, 1 plus tan square x is equal to secant square x, 1 plus cot square x is equal to cosecant square x. So next, that is important, that is reciprocal formulas. That is sin x can be written as 1 by cosecant x. Okay, whereas cos x is written as 1 by secant x, and tan x is written as 1 by cot x. Okay, these are the reciprocal formulas that you must remember. Then tan x can be written as sin x by cos x. Okay, where cot x, what is 1 by cot x? That is 1 by tan x. I can write like that, right? Because tan x is 1 by cot x, right? So cot x will become cos x by sin x. Okay, so it's just a reciprocal of it. So next important thing that you must know is what we will say in degrees and what it will be in radians. So many students will confuse here. Okay, so 30 degree is nothing but a pi by 6. Whenever you are solving the trigonometric formulas, most of the problems will be there in the radians. Okay, you must remember. See here, 30 degree, here only one thing you should know is 30 degree is there 3, so therefore pi by 6, 3 means 6, 6 means 3, 30 degree is pi by 6, 45 degree 4 it is starting, so pi by 4. So for just remembering. Okay, and next is 60 degree is nothing but a pi by 3, and 90 degree is pi by 2, 180 degree is pi, 270 degree is 3 pi by 2, and 360 degree is equal to 2 pi. Sometimes if you don't remember how to this one radians out at a time, so you can convert degrees to radians and radians to degrees. How means, see, this is a formula that you must know. That is converting degrees into radians and radians into degrees. Whenever they have given the degrees, for example, I don't know how to write a 30 degree in radians. Okay, let me consider 30 degree into pi by 180. If I do this means, so 0 0 get cancelled, 3 1s are 3 5 15, 3 6 are 18. So pi by 6. Okay, so similarly, let me consider pi by 3. So this is a radians into 180 divided by pi. So pi get cancelled, 3 1s are 3 5 3 3 6 are 18, right? 60 degree. So therefore 60 degree will be the answer. This is how to convert radians into degree and degree into radians. Okay, so remember the formulas. So now let us come to the important segment, that is knowing the values of sine, cos, tan, cot, secant, cosecant at different angles. This is very important to remember. For class 10th, I think it is enough to remember from 0 degree to 90 degree, whereas for class 11th and 12th you must remember from 0 degree to 360 degree. I just say you the trick how to remember. So let's get started. See, first let me take my fingers here. So see, for 0 degree, 90 degree, 180 degree, 270 degree and 360 degree, it's very simple to remember. How you will remember is using the axis. Okay, so I just show you how to remember. Okay, so you can remember. So we know that this is our x-axis, this is our y-axis. Remember, this is our 0 degree, this is our 90 degree, 90 degree, 180 degree, 270 degree, and this is 360 degree. Okay, similarly it will continues like that. Once again 360 degree, like 360 plus 90, something around 450, and then once again 450 plus 90, next that plus 90, like that it will continues. But this is enough. Okay, so always remember your x-axis will represents the cos x, whereas sine will represented by the y-axis. Y-axis is equal to sine x, whereas x-axis will be equal to cos x. It is defined on that particular line. Okay, x-axis, okay, cos x is defined on x-axis, whereas sine x is defined on y-axis. For example, if I consider 0 degree, 90 degree, 180 degree, 270 degree, and 360 degree. Okay, for example, sine 0, if I consider the sine 0. Okay, if I consider the sine 0, see, sine 0, so 0 lies on where? X-axis. X-axis is defined only for cos x, but it is not defined for sine x, right? So therefore it is 0. Sine 0 is 0. But if I consider the cos, okay, if I consider the cos 0 means it is lying, cos 0 is lying on x-axis. For x-axis, cos x is defined, therefore that will be equal to 1. Okay, and if I consider sine 90, so sine 90 is nothing but on y-axis, it is lying positive y-axis. See, this is positive y-axis, negative y-axis, positive x-axis and negative x-axis, you know this, right? So next, so sine 90 degree lies on positive y-axis, therefore sine x is defined on y-axis, so sine 90 will be equal to 1. But the cos x, cos 90 is lying on the y-axis, whereas cos x is defined only on the x-axis, not on the y-axis, therefore cos 90 will be equal to 0. Okay, and similarly cos sine 180 degree lies on x-axis, where sine is not defined there, therefore sine 180 degree will be equal to 0, whereas cos 180 degree will be equal to not only the 1, it is minus 1. This is because this 180 degree is lying in the negative x-axis. Okay, and next is 270 degree, that is sine 270 degree will be equal to, that is minus 1, because it is lying on the negative y-axis, whereas cos 270 obviously 0, because cos is not defined in the y-axis, it's only defined on x-axis. Next 360 degree, which is lying on the x-axis, where cos is defined, which is 1, whereas sine is not defined, which is 0. This is how to find the 0, 90, 180, 270, 360. This is for sine and cos. Similarly, you can find out the tan, cot, secant, cosecant, guys. This is very simple. Okay, very simple. That is theta. Let me put theta because it is defined only when theta or x is written. So it is very simple. We know the tan theta. Okay, what is tan theta? Sine theta divided by cos theta. What is next? I need tan 0. Let me consider tan 0. Tan 0 means we have to write sine 0, sine 0 divided by cos 0. What is sine 0? 0. What is cos 0? 1. 0 divided by 1 is 0. Similarly, tan 90. What is tan 90 means? It is sine 90 divided by cos 90. What is sine 90? Sine 90 is 1. Cos 90 is 0. 1 divided by 0, which is not defined, we will write it as infinity. We will write it as infinity like this. Can I do this one? It's very simple, right? So what is similarly, let me show you cot. Okay, so cot 0, cot means what? You know this cot, right? Cot is nothing but a what? Cos theta divided by sine theta. What is cot 0? What is cos 0? 1. What is sine 0? 0. So therefore cot 0 will be equal to 1 divided by 0 is not defined. This is how you have to do. Similarly, secant, that is why I told you basic formula you should know. Secant is what? It is 1 by cos x is equal to secant x. If I need the secant, let me consider randomly. I need secant 180. Okay, so secant 180 is nothing but a 1 by cos 180. What is cos 180? We have already find out here. Cos 180 is minus 1. So therefore 1 divided by minus 1 is nothing but a minus 1 only. Okay, you like this you can find out everything here. Okay, so for finding out for this particular angles, it's very easy. Similarly, cosecant is nothing but a what? Cosecant is nothing but is 1 by sine theta. If I need randomly, that is cosecant 360. Cosecant 360, you should know the 1 by sine 360. What is 1 by sine 360? Sine 360 is 0. So therefore 1 by 0 is not defined. Therefore it is a not defined. Not defined. Can you see? That's it. Like this you can fill all this. These are all homework for you. Just fill it by yourself. Okay. So whatever the blank spaces have been given, just fill it by yourself. It's just a homework, and comment me the answers in the below comment section. Okay, see, these things are new for the class 10 student, but it is very common to the 11th and 12th students. Okay, so if you know all these things, you can skip and see the standard formulas, okay, which I will teach in the following video. So next thing is, but okay, 0 degree, 90 degree, 180 degree, 270 degree, 360 degree, we can find out like this. But how to find out for 30 degree, 45 degree, 60 degree? So here I brought you the very good trick for this. Here, okay, how to do that one? Let me teach you that also. So sine 0. See, here we will call this one as finger trick. Finger trick. What is that finger trick? So see, this is my fingers where I have written it as 0 degree, 30 degree, 45 degree, 60 degree. Okay, so that is where you have to find out, right? What you have to do is you have to do the root of the below finger divided by 2. What you have to do? Root of the below finger divided by 2. Root of the below finger divided by 2. Okay, how to do? Let us see. See, 0 degree I have already found. Sine 0 is 0. Okay, now I have to find sine 30 degree, right? So what I said, so sine 30 is equal to root of the below finger divided by 2. How many fingers I have here? Only one finger, right? That is root of 1 divided by 2. What is root of 1? It is 1 only, right? 1 only divided by 2. So therefore sine 30 degree is 1 by 2. Next, sine 45 degree. If I consider sine 45 degree, so that is root of 2. How many fingers? Root of below fingers. How many fingers I have? 2 fingers. So root of below fingers divided by 2. So that is root 2 divided by 2. Here we don't like to keep the roots here in the numerator. So that is why what we have to do is we will do the rationalizing the denominator. Simply what you have to do is you have to multiply with the root 2 and root 2 both the times. Okay, multiply and divide by root 2. See, this is the condition of max. This is like always we will take like this, multiply or divide by 2, add and subtract 2, like that. Okay, don't feel weird about this. Okay, if you do going on practice like this, and if you understand means it you will feel it is easy. But the first time if I do like this, you will literally you will find a question like why we have to multiply by root 2, why we have to divide by root 2. It's simple thing. So that is, see, we will not like to keep this root 2 in the numerator. That is why I have done the rationalizing the denominator. That is why I have multiplied with the root 2 and I have divided with the root 2. Okay, this is how you have to remember. Okay, so see here, if I multiply and divide by root 2, so root 2 into root 2, what is root 2 into root 2? Root 4 divided by 2 root 2. Okay, what is root 4? See, root 4 is a perfect square number, right? So root 4 is nothing but can I write it as 2, because we have some perfect square numbers 2, 4, then 9, 16, 25, 36. That is how you have to remember. So that is root 4 is 2 divided by 2 root 2. 2 get cancelled, therefore 1 by root 2. You got my point? So I think hope you understand here. Right? So next is 60 degree. See, if I consider 60 degree, once again what you have to do, root of the below finger, root of the below finger divided by 2. So 60, how many fingers is there? 3 fingers. So root of 3 divided by 2, that is root 3 by 2. That's it. That's it. Sin 0, 0, sin 30, 1 by 2, 45, sin 45, 1 by root 2, sin 60 is root 3 by 2. This is how you have used your fingers to find out the sine. So this is applicable only for sine. So by finding the sine, then you have to find out the cos. See, cos is, so cos 0, we have already find it out as 1, right? So then what happens is, just you have to exchange the value of 30 degree, 60 degree, that's it. So cos 60 degree is like cos 30 degree will be equal to the value of 60 degree. Just exchanging the value. I just write a root 3 by 2 here. Okay, 1 by root 2, I just write it as same. Whereas cos 30 degree will be equal to 1 by 2. Just I have exchanged the value of 30 and 60 degree. So if you find out like this sine and cos, finding out the tan, cot, secant, cosecant is very easy, because tan is nothing but a sine by cos. So tan 0, 0 by 1, 0. Tan 30, that is 1 by 2 divided by root 3 by 2. So it's nothing but how it will become 1 by 2 into this root 3 by 2. 2 will go upside, right? We know that, right? Like this. So 2 get cancelled. So it will be equal to 1 by root 3. Okay. I just write it here. Okay. 1 by root 3. 1 by root 3. Okay. So similarly, tan 45. Here I will do the calculation. Okay. It will become messy. So tan 45 is sin 45 divided by cos 45, 1 by root 2 divided by 1 by root 2, 1 by root 2 into, so 1 will remains there only, so root 2 will goes upward, root 2 by 1, root 2 get cancelled, therefore 1 only. So tan 45 is 1. Similarly, tan 60 degree, that is sin 60 by cos 60, that is root 3 by 2 divided by 1 by 2, that is root 3 by 2 into 2 by 1. 1 by 2 is there, no? 2 will go up in the numerator, because it's in denominator, it will go like this, like numerator. Okay, because its actual position will come there, it will cancel, so root 3. You got my point? Similarly, we'll find it for cot. Cot is nothing but what? Cos by sine. 1 by 0. Infinity. Next, cos 30. Cot 30. That is how we have to do. Cos by sine. Cot root 3 by 2. That is divided by 1 by 2. This one, 2 to get cancelled. So, root 3. Like that. It's very easy. Secant is 1 by cos. That is nothing but whatever you have the value, you have to do the reciprocal. That's it. 1 is there. 1 by 1 is 1 only. Root 3 by 2, it will become 2 by root 3. That's it. Here cos 45 is 1 by root 2. Secant 45 is, because secant and cos are reciprocal to each other. Cos x is nothing but 1 by secant x. So secant x will be equal to 1 by cos x. Cos 45 is 1 by root 2. Therefore secant 45 is root 2. That's it. Like that. Cosecant is 1 by sine. Whatever the sine value is there, you have to reciprocal it. So 0 reciprocal is infinity. Remember that 0 reciprocal is infinity, because like it will be like 0 by 1. Okay, if you do the reciprocal, 1 by 0. 1 divided by, see, any number divided by 0 is not defined. It is infinity. Okay, this is a very new term for the class 10 students. So please remember this. Okay. I think hope you understand about this finding. So therefore I have find out the value for all the things, and I have written here. You can just take a screenshot of it. Okay.